is a lot, and it's definitely, something we always say is start thinking about how to make your products more sustainable from the beginning, design them to be more sustainable. So can you talk a little bit more about sustainable product innovation and how that works?
Absolutely. So what we have done is we created these really cool tools or scorecards that are going to help the new product development teams, including everybody. It's not just the marketing team, but marketing and R&D and engineering and logistics and procurement, et cetera, supply chain, to start to think about this early on. And we want them thinking about it in stage one, gate one, ideation, where we integrated a new term we call voice of green. Mm-hmm. So it's not just voice of customer, but it's also voice of green. What do we also hear in terms of we know the customer wants this, but we also have a lot of people out in the world who want healthier, greener, more energy efficient, different things like that. So those are the kind of things that we also are training these teams to be listening for in their analysis. And as part of that, there's a checklist. We call it our sustainable product scorecard. And the company will go through that. And the beauty of the scorecard is you don't have to have everybody on the team be an expert in sustainability, right? Because the majority of people on the planet are caring and interested, but they don't know all the lingo and language that we talk about every day. And the scorecard actually helps guide the team to basically be thinking about these things as they go through the process. So we're going to integrate, ideally, and this is where life cycle assessment comes in. If you are a company that's run a life cycle assessment, you're going to know a lot about your product and your processes and your operations. So you'll know where are the impacts in the raw materials we use, where are the impacts in our manufacturing process, how about our supply chain, who's our biggest, if we're supplying raw materials from another country and they have to ship it really far away, we're going to know what the impact of that is, or if it's being shipped by air versus rail, what's the difference? All those things are going to be really important, and that can then inform decisions as you're going through the new product development process using sustainable product innovation with LCA as a basis. So imagine the scorecard for sustainable product innovation might look like, number one, always we put on their cost, because most new product development teams are tasked with figuring out how to make a product for less money and reducing the cost of doing it, et cetera. So we keep that on there. But then we go down to things like looking at raw materials. Are there different raw materials you can use, or can you integrate recycled content? If you have done an LCA, what are the life cycle impacts that you should be considering, and what changes can you make? Is there, and this is where circularity might come in. Well, let's think about, I always tell new product development teams, let's think about the end of life now. When this product can no longer be used, or it's going to be done with use, what's going to happen to it? And that's a great time to be thinking about circularity, because then you can say, all right, we know that typically our product at the end of life or end of use goes to a landfill. What if we designed it a little differently, that we could, number one, make it repairable, or we could extend the life to make it much more durable to last longer? Those are the kind of things we want the new product development teams thinking about. And the life cycle aspects of that are really important, because then you'll know what is the limiting factor, what are the raw materials, or what are the functions of the product that are messing us up, or causing this thing that we can't reuse it or extend the life. Mm-hmm. So repair, reuse, durability, all really important aspects. Design for disassembly, like the iPhones, for years, I still say that, and I don't want to pick on iPhones, all cell phones are pretty much poorly designed, mm-hmm. right? There's so many raw materials that we'll never recover out of it. Could we design them differently? So These are the kind of things that the Sustainable Product Scorecard will do, and bring to light the thinking about this early on. So by the time you get to the end of that process, you've already factored in maybe energy efficiency, or better products, better materials, design for disassembly, design for reuse or repair.